is up, everyone? I'm Jeff Lund, and this is the Mediocre Alaskan Podcast, where we are intolerant of weak-minded attitudes that keep people from pursuing new and exciting things in the areas of fitness, outdoors, and general lifestyle. Coming to you from a Tuesday morning. It's 5:45 a.m. This is episode 26. Going to be another solo episode. Going to recap some of the basketball travel that's been going on, then also going to check in on the two words that I wanted to focus on for this year. So, first off, just got back from Anchorage on Sunday. We flew up there Tuesday after school, played games Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, went 2-2. Travel up and back was pretty nice, especially after the previous week getting stuck in Wrangell for all that time, and then playing off the plane. But it's always interesting to go up there and play the Anchorage schools, take the Alaska Airlines flight up there and the whole experience, but kind of see where you're at, and being a really good tournament that's it's well run, seeing a lot of the talent from around the state and see where Alaska ranks. I saw some really good girls basketball teams when I was in California coaching, but there are some athletes here in Ketchikan, some players who were top notch, who were pretty in the same categories as some of the best basketball players girls basketball players that I've seen. So that was good. Came back, as I said. It's early in the morning. I woke up at 5 this morning. Try to get up at 5 2 to 3 times a week. Do a little dumbbell workout. Have an extra hour before school. I usually leave the house at 7. Or a little bit before 7, so I'm not stuck behind a bus. So 2 hours to kind of go through the morning routine, so I'm not rushed. Got a little dumbbell workout, not anything large, just something to kind of get the blood flowing, get the muscles working, get everything engaged. And I don't drink my coffee until I actually get to school. So it's morning, it's wake up, it's a little workout. I'm done with that now. About ready to cook some breakfast. I take what's called Athletic Greens. It's a bag of a nutrition type supplement thing that's good for gut health. Maybe like an adult version of Emergency. It's got probiotics, which is good for the gut bacteria in you. It's got stuff for immunity, stuff for energy, stuff for just feeling good. So it's a whole bunch of nutrients that your body needs throughout the day. So I wake up, first thing I do is drink that little shake and let it absorb while my stomach's empty, and then get ready, and then cook the breakfast, usually of some eggs and some meat and some today probably go like a breakfast sandwich, maybe have some bacon and some eggs and some cheese and a slice of bread or something. I like it. It's the open-faced sandwich where it's nice and messy, and it's got the egg yolk running down the side of the bacon and down the side of the toast. I'm digging that. Getting hungry thinking about it. So, as far as checking in with the goals, I was really excited about starting off the year with the words prioritize and create, because I want to prioritize what I'm doing. Prioritize things that are important, and if something is non-essential, to just get rid of it. Apply that also to purchases that I'm making. If I don't need it, why buy it? Why waste my money on that? Why not spend it on something else? So I decided to prioritize Alaska. I'm not going to go down to California at all this summer. Some of my friends are going to come up in July, so that'll be fine, but I'll save some money by doing that. I thought about going up to Anchorage, flying up there, or taking the ferry, put my truck on the ferry and driving to the Anchorage area, and then just do a week or two of fishing in the Kenai Peninsula and travel around there, but not going to do that. I'm just going to, when school gets out, either head over to Prince Wales or stay in the Ketchikan area and just really do my local area as well as possible. You live here and you kind of get into your routine of the things that you do. You maybe do the Traverse once, or you do your weekend camping trip at Jordan Lake, or same thing on Prince of Wales, just go to the Thorn River, the same spots the whole time. So I really want to expand from that. I want to do a lot of things that has been available to me since I was a kid, but for some reason some things didn't get in the rotation. So I want to try some new things, see some different areas of the island. Explore, possible hunting grounds, just really get after it in that regard. So it'll be a lot less expensive, and I'm excited for that. I'm actually more excited for the possibilities of Prince of Wales and Revilla than I am about not going down to California. There's some rivers I love down there, and the whole idea of wet wading when you got your boots on and you got wool socks on, or you got guard socks on, and so your feet are wet but it's warm enough so you're not getting cold, and you're wearing shorts and you're boulder hopping and you're dabbing dry flies on the surface for little brown trout and brook trout. That's awesome, and that's great. Really enjoy it, but I think I'm going to really enjoy taking the whole summer and just be up here for sure. As far as gear goes, I was good. A couple episodes ago, I was talking with my buddy Steve up in Fairbanks, and I was sold on getting a new pack. And he said that he was recommended when he first arrived in Fairbanks to never make any big decision in February. But I was talking with him in January, and so I was really close to buying a new pack. Pretty expensive pack, but a really good pack. Bigger pack than what I have currently. So it was going to solve some of those issues. But I didn't buy it, and now it's February. So if I can get through this month, then I'll be in good shape. So trying to save as much money as possible as well. Not for anything particular, not to really buy anything, but just to have it, just to collect it. So prioritizing has been good. Prioritizing the time as well. To create, which is the next word that I've been focusing on. It's been a good year so far with that. Picked up a new writing gig for Caffeine and Kilos, doing some research articles for them. So if you go to caffeineandkilos.com and click on the blog, you'll be seeing some of my stuff on there. Doing some research-based stuff has been kind of fun. Everything that I write is about the outdoors. So it was writing about coffee was interesting, and writing about the effects of coffee and whether or not you can overdose on caffeine. Kind of fun, kind of different. When creating in a new realm can kind of make things fresh and new, and it was pretty fun to do some research for that and write about coffee rather than fishing or hunting. So that freshness has been nice, and I appreciate the opportunity there to work with them. Also picked up a writing gig for a new hunting magazine that's going to be coming out. They just did their first episode, or the first issue, I think it was 2 weeks or 2 months ago, two issues ago. It's called Western Hunting Journal. Deals with the hunting in the West. But that's the same guy that does Salmon Steelhead Journal. So it's well done. The pictures are good. The writing is good. It's got a good combination of tips and good writing. It's not just about one or the other. One of the things that you look at a Field and Stream magazine now, and it seems like there's one feature, and then everything else is just tidbits, just tiny tidbits over so much information throughout the entire country. It's really not. I don't subscribe anymore because there's just too much of what's not essential to what I want to read.
After years of fine print contracts and getting ripped off by big wireless providers, if we've learned anything, it's that there's always a catch. So when I first heard that Mint Mobile offers premium wireless starting at just $15 a month, I thought, what's the catch? But after talking to them and using their service, it all made sense. There isn't one. Mint Mobile's secret sauce is that they're the first company to sell wireless service online only. They cut out the cost of retail stores and pass those sweet savings directly to you. For anyone who hates their phone bill, Mint Mobile offers premium wireless for just $15 a month. I was hesitant about having to get a new phone and a new phone number, but with Mint, you can use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and keep your same phone and your same phone number along with all of your existing contacts. Mint Mobile gives you the best rate whether you're buying for one or for a family, and at Mint, families start at 2 lines. All plans come with unlimited talk and text plus high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Switch to Mint Mobile and get premium wireless service starting at just $15 a month. To get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month and to get the plan shipped to your door for free, go to mintmobile.com/waypoint. That is mintmobile.com/waypoint. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/waypoint.
and the types of outdoorsing that I do. Most of the deer type stuff is whitetail stand hunting, which totally makes sense. The vast majority of the readership is people who hunt like that. And so, for an Alaskan to expect to get, Alaskan type hunting stories in Field and Stream, it's not going to happen unless someone goes from, or that they pay for one of their own writers to come up here and experience Southeast Alaska and go on a bear or deer hunt. But those articles get kind of tired because it's the person talking about the wonder of Southeast Alaska written in the voice that shows that that person doesn't really know what they're talking about. And it's not their fault, but you just can't get a real glimpse of what it is to live in Alaska and be in Alaska if you're only here for a week during the summer, during the hunting season. When you get that local sort of attitude or that local sort of vibe. I've written a magazines before saying, hey, I'll do an article. I live here. Yeah, so, I can do a fishing article, I can do a hunting article, and I've been told more than once that the magazine already has their writers, and it's the travel writer that gets to come up and they get to write about their trip up to Alaska, and so they don't always contract out locals to do those articles because they maybe they have someone who's their travel writer and does that, and that's fine, but that local vibe, the people who really understand how everything is. If you show up and you go deer hunting and you get a nice buck, you don't know necessarily about all the issues right now surrounding the wolf population on Prince of Wales and how it took just 2 weeks for trappers to get the quota. And if there is any indication that it's pretty easy to find wolves on Prince of Wales, it's the fact that it only took 2 weeks to get the entire quota that was allotted for wolves. That's pretty. That's not good. Not to diminish the skills of the trappers who got most of them, but just the fact that it was that easy and that quick to get that many wolves. Crazy. Well, I'll get into that later. Also, with creating, have decided to start working on a second manuscript for a second book. People have asked me if you're going to write a second book, and maybe, I don't know. Why not? Why would I not write a second book? If I have the time, if I have the words, why would I not do that? So I'm going to start working on a second book, try to get that done by the end of this year. I think I'm going to lay it out by like months. So rather than chapters, it's going to be organized by months, and so I'll have like essays that happen in each month, and then maybe like a little day in the life type thing, so it's that specific to Alaska thing to get a different angle of what life is like in Southeast Alaska. So that's what I'm going to be working on in addition to everything else. It's to help and feed the creation. I've kind of taken a step back from books about essentialism and about quality living and this and that, and kind of writing or reading the type of writing I want to do. So the last 3 books that I've been working on, reading-wise, has been A Place Beyond by Nick Jans. The guy lives way up north in the real Varsity, Alaska. He writes for Alaska Magazine, and he writes beautiful essays about just being out in the woods and the lifestyle. And so that sort of stuff is closer to what I'm going to write, and being inspired by that and kind of getting in that frame of mind has been good for me as far as creating. My favorite writer probably is Bill Heavey. He writes the back page column for Field and Stream magazine, and his latest book, Should the Tent Be Burning Like That? Just got that and I've been working through that. The type of writing is different. It's very comical, but he lives back east, and so again, it's a lot of whitetail hunting type things, or bass fishing and turkeys, and a lot of things that I don't do up here. But just if there's anyone who really embodies the everyday man, you have the hunting professionals who are sponsored by all these companies and who have the equipment and gear to make these really great videos and hunting videos. Then you've got Bill Heavey, who is obviously an expert enough to be able to do all these things and be a good outdoorsman, but he seems to get himself into not trouble, but have little mini disasters each time. And so he's, well, maybe not a professional. Maybe he is proficient, but not a professional like most of us are. We are good enough to be able to do stuff, but there's a lot of instances in which we feel like either natural selection would have taken us, or our families would have gone hungry if we were hunting in a hunting and gathering type time. But underneath the book, the subhead says A Professional Amateur's Guide to the Outdoors. And as the mediocre Alaskan, I feel that I can associate with a lot of these things. I know enough to be able to have these sort of adventures and be proficient enough to keep me involved. But there are times where you just feel that you should maybe not make that decision, or that things should go a little bit better. But it's comical and it's relatable. And he has really embraced that professional amateur. And probably one of the inspirations for me being the mediocre Alaskan, where there's a level of proficiency, of course, but kind of getting through and staying with it, not getting overly frustrated when things afield do not go real well. And then for sheer excitement and joy of reading John Gierich, A Fly Rod of Your Own. He's probably my favorite writer. He and Hevey. But just the way that he puts the sentences together, and he's a wordsmith, and it's very difficult to read his books because as you're reading it, or at least my brain just goes to the river, and it's hard for me to. Sometimes I have to get to the bottom of the page, and I'm not sure what he was writing and what his story was. I'm so into my own story of the last time I went on a similar sort of trip, and so it's really enjoyable reading. So that's kind of the point, I think, maybe. So I go back and read it. But any book that makes you kind of go on that mental journey of yourself and remind you of the times that you were outside, that's a lot of fun to read. So that's the goal check-in. That's where I'm at with prioritize and create. Becoming conscious of the amount of time that I have in each day and how much time that I actually waste. And so I'm trying to fix that and maximize that without feeling that my creative part is too cumbersome a job. I want it to be something then to keep it enjoyable. But I try to write every day, even if it's just a sentence, even if it's just writing down notes, something productive each day to do that. Because if you're not doing that, then, you're not doing that, and time still continues at the same pace it always does, and you could make yourself have another habit of not doing stuff, not being productive, and that's not good. So there it is, episode 26, little analyzing the goal words for the year, prioritize and create. Got another basketball trip this weekend, heading off to Juneau once again, so for the third Friday in a row, I won't be in school, I have to get a sub. Head up there, play Juneau Douglas High School. Should be some good games there. The 1 seed at the region tournament is at stake. And, should be fun. Speaking of fun, the light is starting to show up a little bit earlier, which is great. So when I'm driving to school in the morning, I can see. Don't need my lights. Have them on anyway, but that's pretty nice. I'm really interested to see when the sun comes out, because we had a bunch of snow and then it got packed down in the driveway, and then it's been raining. So the glacier that is my driveway might be slickened, or maybe the rain and it warmed up just enough so the rain got through and it's kind of broken it up. I don't know. So that'll be an adventure. The big question when I'm leaving to go to work, will I have to use 4-wheel drive to get up the glacier, or can I get it in 2? So that's the little adventures, the little things in life. So call that episode 26. Make sure you go to themediocrealaskan.com for content and all things, everything. If you have a suggestion for people to have on, guests, as well as content, things to talk about, then please let me know. Send me an email or write a comment on themediocrealaskan.com. Do have some people lined up. It's been kind of difficult with basketball, setting up the interview dates, but as soon as basketball season's over, we're going to really get going with this. So make sure you check that out, themediocrealaskan.com. Make sure you also check out lmtlifestyle.com. Pretty picked through inventory at this point, but we got some new stuff coming in for spring and summer. And check out caffeineandkilos.com. Check out my new writing gig for them. And before I say check out one more time, I'll just leave it at that. Episode 26 in the books. Have a good week.